The Simpsons are practically time travelers. You won't believe how accurate their predictions have been. They are known for their satirical humor and sharp social commentary with a peculiar knack for predicting future events. Take the 1997 episode, The Simpsons spin-off Showcase, for example. There's this bit where Homer's half-brother, Herb Powell, pitches a new show called The Rerun Show, which basically just rehashes old footage of The Simpsons. Sounds familiar, right? Fast forward a couple of decades and streaming services are doing the exact same thing with old TV shows. Coincidence? I think not. In a 1993 episode called Dollar Pringfield, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love Legalized Gambling, the show features a scene with a riverboat casino called the Capital City Goofball. Cut to 2019, and guess what? A casino called the Capital City Goofball actually opened in Springfield, Illinois. Okay, so maybe it's just a funny coincidence, but still pretty freaky, right? And then there's the time The Simpsons predicted the horse meat scandal. In a 1994 episode, Lunch Lady Doris uses assorted horse parts in her cooking. Years later, it was revealed that some European meat products actually contained horse meat. All right, let's delve into the business of the day. Number 1, the Ebola virus outbreak. Season 9, Episode 3, Lisa's Sacks. The Simpsons have a knack for predicting some pretty heavy stuff, and the 1997 episode Lisa's Sacks is a prime example. In this episode, Marge encourages a bedridden Bart to read a book called Curious George and the Ebola Virus. Now, at the time, Ebola was a relatively unknown disease, confined to a few outbreaks in Africa. Fast forward to 2014 and the world is gripped by the deadliest Ebola outbreak in history. Coincidence? Maybe. But it's hard to ignore the eerie similarity between the episode and the real-life event. Of course, the show's creators couldn't have predicted the exact timing or severity of the outbreak, but the fact that they even mentioned Ebola years before it became a global health crisis is pretty mind-boggling. Some might argue that it's all just a matter of probability. With so many episodes and so many jokes, The Simpsons were bound to get something right eventually. Number 2, Game of Thrones plot twist, Season 29, Episode 1, The Simpsons. Now, I may be a cartoon guy, but even I know a thing or two about good television, and let me tell you, Game of Thrones was some seriously captivating stuff. But as any die-hard fan will tell you, the show's final season left many viewers feeling, well, a little underwhelmed. But here's the thing. The Simpsons actually predicted a major Game of Thrones plot twist way back in 2017. In the episode The Simpsons, a dragon, very reminiscent of Daenerys Targaryen's beloved Drogon, swoops down and burns down a medieval village. Sound familiar? That's because it's pretty darn close to what happened in the final season of Game of Thrones when Daenerys, in a fit of rage, unleashes Drogon upon King's Landing. Now, I'm not saying the Simpsons writers had a direct line to George R.R. Martin's brain, although knowing those Simpsons writers, anything's possible. But this prediction, along with countless others, raises some interesting questions about the show's uncanny ability to tap into the cultural zeitgeist and foreshadow future events. Number 3, Faulty Voting Machines, Season 20, Episode 4, Treehouse of Horror Nanton. Let's be honest, folks. Politics these days can feel like one big, never-ending episode of The Simpsons, but with higher stakes and fewer laughs. But did you know that The Simpsons actually predicted a major political controversy way back in 2008? In the episode Treehouse of Horror 19th, Homer tries to vote for Barack Obama, but the voting machine keeps switching his vote to John McCain. At the time, this was seen as a hilarious commentary on the unreliability of electronic voting machines. But fast forward to recent elections, and the issue of voter fraud and election interference has become a major point of contention. Coincidence? Maybe. But it's hard to deny that The Simpsons have a knack for shining a light on real-world problems, even if it's through the lens of animated satire. Some might argue that The Simpsons' predictions are simply a reflection of the anxieties and concerns of the time, and sure, there's some truth to that. Number 4. Apple's Vision Pro Virtual Reality Headset, Season 28, Episode 2. Remember when virtual reality was just a geeky pipe dream? Well, The Simpsons were way ahead of the curve on that one. In the episode Bart to the Future, which aired back in the year 2000, the show featured a scene with kids wearing VR headsets that allowed them to experience a simulated world. Fast forward to today, and virtual reality is no longer the stuff of science fiction. With devices like the Oculus Quest and the HTC Vive, we can now immerse ourselves in virtual worlds, just like the kids in that Simpsons episode. But the Simpsons' predictions about virtual reality go even further than just the technology itself. In that same episode, Bart to the Future, Lisa mentions that virtual reality has become so advanced that people are using it to escape from the drudgery of their everyday lives. Pause 1S. Number 5, smartwatches, Season 6, Episode 19, Lisa's Wedding. In a world where smartwatches are now an everyday accessory, it's easy to forget that back in the 90s the idea was pure science fiction. Yet the Simpsons, in their usual prescient fashion, gave us a glimpse of wrist-worn technology in the episode Lisa's Wedding, which aired in 1995. In this episode, Lisa's fiancé, Hugh, answers a call on his watch. Fast forward to today, and devices like the Apple Watch and Samsung Galaxy Watch have made this a reality. These smartwatches not only tell time, but also track our fitness, send messages, and even make calls. The Simpsons didn't just predict the rise of smartwatches, they also hinted at how integral these devices would become in our daily lives. Just like Hugh in the episode, many of us now rely on our smartwatches for a myriad of tasks, from checking notifications to navigating our way through the city. It's yet another instance of The Simpsons capturing the essence of future technology long before it became mainstream. So, next time you glance at your smartwatch, remember, The Simpsons saw it coming. So there you have it, folks. The Simpsons, masters of comedy, chroniclers of the human condition, and apparently prophets of the future. From predicting presidents to foreseeing fashion faux pas, it seems there's no limit to their uncanny ability to tap into the zeitgeist and give us a glimpse of what's to come. Is it all just a series of bizarre coincidences? Or is there something more at play here? Maybe Matt Groening has a time-traveling phone booth hidden away in his backyard. Or perhaps the writers are all secret members of a society of soothsayers. Whatever the explanation, one thing's for sure. The Simpsons have an uncanny knack for predicting the future, and it's both hilarious and a little bit terrifying. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button to gain more knowledge and get smarter. See you in the next video.